You're okay. I'll be your timer. I'll be your timer, and we're live. I don't care about intros, Barb. Let's cut to the chase. We don't need to waste 30 seconds. We're on the clock. So welcome, everybody. It is Online Community with Nick Wood and Barb T USA. That's the amazing Barb Tomlin, who's just over here. Sassy little blonde. Hi, Barb. Sassy little
it's
blonde.
pretty, at this stage. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, I tell you, this has been nothing less than an adventure. That's what I said. Every time that I've gotten online in my life, something happens. And that's why I was, it's like, oh, it's another adventure with Barb. You never know what's going to happen.
You never can tell. That is so true.
Exactly. And I'm like a chameleon, it's like whoever's in the room with me, I can just like change totally overnight. And so I am going to try my best not to mention one word.
I've got my bingo card.
Right. We should have a game.
I reckon you're going to last about 10 minutes.
You think? We should have a contest for that every time, because it's been part of my life story. I mean, since the 70s. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just think the sport itself is over, what, 300 years old now?
Damn, you're just teasing. It's gonna slip out in a minute, Barb. I know you. Keep it in. I wanted to say something about, you said you were a chameleon, and it reminded me of a story that Deb said to me the other day. And she works with a guy, lovely bloke, called Ash. And he's recently bought a chameleon, and he paid, get this, he paid £700. So what's that? Nearly $1,000 for this chameleon. And he's called it Red.
Oh, that has political undertones to it.
He's called it Red, a chameleon, because it was obviously red when he was looking at it initially. I have no idea what color it might be now. But yeah, so we've got a chameleon called Red. I don't understand. I'll be honest. I've got Delia the cat, and she's lovely and cute, and I can stroke her, and she's a little baby. But you can't really stroke chameleons and geckos and lizardy things. I don't know why they're so popular. Because they are popular.
I actually, in my younger years, I must have been about 22. I had a girlfriend I was staying with, and she had a chameleon. It was the first time I'd ever seen one up close. And I mean, she fed it and everything, it was her pet. And so I never knew. When I was a little kid, I lived in New Mexico, in the USA, and there's lizards everywhere.
Oh, I can imagine. Yes, very hot.
And I had, because my dad worked in the uranium mines, I had a pet salamander. And I will never forget.
Pet salamander?
Yeah. You haven't seen pictures of them. They will definitely scare you.
Yeah, some crazy folks out there. Yeah.
I never, back when I went to school, no, we won't date it too well. Let's just forget that. When I went to school, as in, in elementary and middle school, and then, we had that show and tell. You bring something, and most of our dads were. I was at, most of our dads were uranium miners, and so they had particular lunch in the USA. I don't know what they call it in your country. I'll ask you when I shut up.
Yeah, when you get to the end of your story, I'll tell you.
Because we called them lunch pills or lunch buckets at that time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so Dad came home, and the procedure was for us to, greet him with a hug and kisses, when he came to the door. And I would take his lunch pail and put it in the kitchen, to be emptied out for Mom to wash and so forth. And so this day, And he did it to tease me, of course. But I'm a brainiac, as you know. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my
anyone who
God,
watches this knows.
I've
Yeah.
got to learn about this. And so I opened up the lunch pail, and the salamander actually almost went the length of his lunch pail. I mean, I call it little, but
Wow.
they're in the uranium mines.
Oh
And
my goodness.
so, believe you me, I had the very best show and tell.
Yeah.
I mean, people, because I just, I took his lunch pail with me, and I just started talking to it because my voice, its eyes would roll around and so forth. And so
Oh,
I did have, a pet salamander. Can you believe it? I have to get some pictures of those things because it
yeah.
scared people to look at. But when it came to lizards, you never know in this part of the country. You could literally be in a motel room. It's like,
Yeah.
if you stay in a motel, I don't recommend staying on the bottom floor. I'll tell you that. Because if one of your visitors or your kids opens the door, you never know what will crawl
Hmm.
inside. And I bring that up only because this is definitely the country where a lizard could march right in, and we have lots of little lizards running around here. I mean, the
wow.
Corky kids have had a blast chasing them in the
I was going to say, yeah, do they chase them around?
Oh yeah, and look at each. There'll be times they'll be sleeping, and one was right by um, Lady Guinevere's nose, and she was sleeping, and of course her nose picked up on the smell, and
Oh,
I'm watching this, and I'm wondering what's going to happen.
yeah. They a tasty snack for one of the corgis. Yeah.
Absolutely. And everything rolled out, she jumped up, and it went off a lickety split.
Lickety split. I love it. What a wonderful word. Lickety split. That's what I've not heard for a while.
I don't even know how old that word is. I know my grandparents used it with me.
As old as the hills.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back to your lunch pail and your lunch, what did you call it? Your lunch pail and your lunch bucket. We just call them lunch boxes.
Oh, we don't.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't. I used pail and bucket and box. But so when I would imagine in your country, when they started marketing, because when we were little kids in school, they were square metal boxes that you opened up, our lunch pails. And I would imagine they'd be marketed in your country as well. Or you took a brown bag.
A brown bag was very fashionable back in the day, I do recall.
Yeah.
Or even just wrapped in cling film if I was just having sandwiches.
Is that right?
Yeah, my mother wasn't a very, she's not watching, I can say this. Yeah, my mother wasn't overly blessed in the cooking and creating lunches or dinners department. So, lunches were pretty lean, I'll be honest, Barb. But we did have a lot of school dinners, though. We did have, that was quite a popular choice. Not that they were popular with the kids because they tasted horrible, but hey, it was a hot meal. And so that meant when you got home, you could have a nice light dinner and do your homework and go to bed. That was the thing. But no, a lunchbox, we call it. Also, slang for what's in a gentleman's trousers. That's his lunchbox. And we had, I don't know if you remember, we had a 100-meter sprinter called, he was Olympic champion one day, Linford Christie, who was very blessed in that department, and they used to call it Linford's lunchbox. Yeah, I think look him up. I think he won the gold medal in somewhere or other, just before or just after Carl Lewis. I can't remember which. Around that time. And,
wow.
And Ben Johnson, who obviously we can't mention at all, drug cheat. Oh, we just mentioned him. Whoops. silly me.
Careful now, careful.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Well, I'm not telling a lie.
yeah,
I tell no lies, Barb. You know me.
you're a typical Brit.
I,
I am not going to touch that line. Life just wouldn't be normal for me without having friends from the UK that I connect with every week.
yeah,
And so
exactly.
before you, I really picked on Stephen Healy.
I know. He's in the home now, Barb. He's in the home. Every now and again, he comes out shaking still, but I'm sure he'll recover eventually. We say, Stephen, come on, it's safe. No, Barb.
I really admire him. He and I are in the same age group, and I love what he's done to maintain his health. And I just love, when I met him, it was kind of sad in his story. And when I met him back in that blab I am, no, he talked about
blab.
But he married a lady that from Germany that actually teaches German and teaches online and so forth.
She does, Angelica.
Yeah, Angelica, and she too is an amazing storyteller. And so it's been so much fun watching them and their adventures over the last couple of years. And I have to tell you, I do miss the regular connection. I used to tease him an awful lot, but
you're just a tease, Barb. You're just a tease. Actually, have you seen they've put together this amazing turtle book?
Right. Exactly.
Using Notebook LM and AI, and it is so good. It is so good. They did one. The first one helps you learn German, and it's so funny because I lived in Germany for 13 years, and so I do speak a little bit, or sprechen Sie ein bisschen, I think we could say now. And so I read it, and I said, "Yeah, really good," but there seems to be 3 versions. And Stephen said, "No, it's like baby German, intermediate German, and then proper German." There's a teacher. So I then went and reread it and came back to it and said, yes, that will be why it was so easy for me to read the first time. The second time, no problem at all. Third time, there were a couple of words that I had completely forgotten and had to really rack my brains as to what it was talking about. But no, really, really fantastic. And I really do hope that that something gets picked up because it's a brilliant idea. It looks fantastic. And yeah, they've done a really lovely job. Amazing. And he's tearing up TikTok like a good one as well. Live streaming on TikTok. Not as a shop, not selling anything, just Stephen being Stephen. And he's got thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. So cool.
Yeah, he has really, it's just a total transformation since the early days when I first met him. But actually, during that phase, I kept saying, live streaming is going to be the thing.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, to be able to connect both on audio and on video at real time, that is going to be amazing. Yeah. We have already shot away 15 minutes of our session today. And you asked me, what are we going to talk about, Anna? Well, I've made it 15 minutes without mentioning that word.
It's on the tip of your tongue.
But
wait another 5 minutes, Barb, and I'll probably make £500. So I've got 20 minutes in the sweepstake.
Yeah. This is going to be tough for me to get out of my mouth. It is all about community. We talk about online, but the way you really solidify connections that you've made throughout your life is if you have at least one opportunity to meet that person that you're talking to from across the sea, to meet them in person. And the very next best thing is to be able to use a live streaming utility to be able to do that. So you can act, because we are connecting real time. It's afternoon for you. by the way, what time is it over there?
It is just gone 2:15 in the afternoon.
Yeah, in the afternoon, and I'm at 7:50 in the morning. Good thing I'm a morning gal.
I'm going to say, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot.
For
Yeah, what's that,
sure.
7 hours, 8 hours. So
For
big
sure.
big old difference. But I'm glad you woke up though, Barb. It's always an exciting time.
Yeah. Well, this week has been something, right? I mean, tomorrow, in case you aren't aware of this, is the big day when, Meta announced that the big layoff would, it actually said it would take place, but the bottom line is it's when basically it will all be done by the time business closes on the 20th.
But they've been laying off quite a few already, haven't they?
And that's what I was saying. I said, well, wait a minute. You guys announced that it was going to be on the 20th, but they've been laying folks off right and left.
What do you think that's going to do, though, Barb? Seriously?
Well, they said that they were going to turn things over to AI. Remember that? Going to automate a lot more.
Yeah, but do you think as a user, our experience is going to be enhanced, or can you see issues, shall we say?
Definitely see. I've already seen the issues because people in the areas where I'm at, they've been laid off, and so there's things that can't be done. And I'm getting, when people talk about notifications and not getting notifications, well, you need to check your settings regularly because the technology turns over and wipes them all out or turns them on again. You never know.
Exactly. Well, Sally, did you see that company? I can't think of its name at the moment. Excuse me. The company that had the startup that had all its database wiped because AI decided that was the best way to. It was their fault. They told it to clean up their database. So Claude cleaned it up good, and the backups, and it just deleted it. But this is the thing. This is no different from if you have humans. You can't just give it an instruction and expect it to know exactly what to do. You have to put some guidelines on.
Absolutely.
Put some fail safes in. So you wouldn't just say to someone you've just employed, oh yeah, and by the way, if you push that button there, that will destroy everything.
But it was, way back in the early days, you could do the same thing when you got on a PC when you were using it. It would be so easy to wipe things out if you didn't know what you were doing.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's really, really important to continue learning. I've shared many times I'm a lifelong learner. And if I don't know something, I would say probably for 30 years online, I would just say, just Google it. You'll find the answer somewhere along the way.
Absolutely. That's the thing. I saw a brilliant thing the other day, Barb. There was a friend of mine, he put out, in order to increase his email list, he put out a free PDF that he said he was going to charge $1, but he's actually giving it away for free, and it gave us it reveals exactly everything you need to know and how to find it. Did a beautiful job, and then you download the PDF because it's captured your email address then, and you read through, and basically it has all this blurb, and then the next page it says, go to YouTube, search it, and you will find everything you need to know. Yeah, my friend Rich is an American guy. So
typically that would come from an American. I'm sorry, we're not going to get off on that, but that is.
I laughed my socks off. That was brilliant. Yeah. If a British person had done that and normally received it, we'd be saying, "Well, where is it? I want my $1 back. I'd have happily paid $1 just for that funny PDF." But,
Exactly. Well, I remember the first. It's because that word I'm not mentioning, we wouldn't be able to be where we are today. I'm not. It wouldn't even be here if it hadn't have been for, folks in France and in the UK.
Actually, I'm going to stop you saying that word. Going back to computers, and I do remember when I was, I could have only been in my early 20s, maybe 22, 23, something like that. And I was working for an Italian fan manufacturer and distributor, Fortishape they were. And we were using this, this, I can't remember, it's called an AS400 or something like that. This computer anyway. And the clean, it was a great big thing, a really small company. And the cleaners came in one night and unplugged it in order to plug in their vacuum cleaners.
Oh my gosh.
And the act of unplugging it just wiped it. Luckily, we did have a backup, but the backups in those days, as you recall, Bob, took an age because everything was so much slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was quite funny. Well, it wasn't funny for my boss. He was livid, but I saw the funny side of it.
And what we had to store information on, in the beginning.
Yeah, great big discs.
The tools that we had to use in the beginning versus, I remember getting the first hard drive, and yeah. It was so big, and it was just, maybe it was like, it was in megabytes instead of gigabytes,
Yeah, that's a crazy thing, isn't it? It's amazing. Absolutely. Yeah, kids, you don't know you're born,
Exactly. But anyway,
but we'd be excited. Sorry, Bob, but we'd be excited though. The new technology would come in, and it might be a huge, like a big disc, but we'd be going, "Wow, that's amazing," because it was at the time. That's progress.
Well, it's so funny you and I connected because we both are lovers of music, and you have a friend that you're doing a podcast series with now on music of our times.
Yes.
And are you up to the 80s yet or not? Because
no,
it
not
seems
yet.
to be our favorite genre of music.
We're getting there. We are. This week will be 1974. So in the new. So 74, we've got Queen. Who's kicked off. We got ABBA. Don't know if you.
Yes.
Yes. We got. I think we got Wings, Band on the Run with Paul McCartney.
Yeah, I love that.
And a few other little corkers that you kind of forget. You think, oh wow, that was a brilliant song. And we also talk a little bit about the movies of the time as well. So yeah, no. And if anyone has a request, we are recording it on Thursday. So if you put your tune from 1974, then we can't play it because of.
And where should they submit their tune?
Submit them to my Facebook page.
Okay.
That'll be.
Now you're operating on Facebook with under two different names. Is it the? Well, I think you have a business thing by your name.
Yeah, we do a Nicholas Wood and a Nick Wood. So the one that this is beaming out to today is my business one, which is still personal business. And Barb, today, not that we see it, I actually invited 100 people because I could invite from one Facebook profile because we're friends on there, and then because we've put it on the other Facebook profile, I was able to do 500 people there. So we did 1,000 invites. It's not
wow! When did you go through that act?
Why don't next week we actually talk about community?
Absolutely, because I really wanted to do that today. It was, Mike Stelzner, I've known from Social Media Examiner. I've known him since 2006 and been on his email list all that time. Think about it. To be on somebody's email list,
that was a long time.
Yeah, and it was really funny because I was there when he got into that, when we talked about that Blab IM. It was early. I was up in Oregon at the time, and he was just fiddling around, and it just came on for the first time. So we connected, and he agreed with me. This is going to revolutionize everything, the live streaming option. And I look at this week, he actually released the new social media research report.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and you
I'm
for
sure I'm on his list as well.
you can download it for free from Social Media Examiner right now. But of course, you have to give up your email address if you're not already on his email list. That's how it will be sent to you.
Yeah,
but maybe we can go into, because I know you have to go and we have 4 minutes and I'm watching, but it's really, really important what he revealed there and what's happening and what I've learned, over this past week. And by next week, of course, we're going to be feeling everything that has happened as a result, I think, of their big layoff. And because that's happening tomorrow, and I have another live, with Madeline Wood, or Madeline Wood. Whoops, Madeline Sklar.
We're very close.
Shame on you.
Yeah, I didn't tell you. Actually, well, Barb, let me actually being very, very serious for a minute. So, what I mean, bearing in mind you have been live streaming since the Blab by M days before then, even. Where do you see live streaming going now?
Well, that's in Michael's report. He actually asked that, again, and it is going to be even more important. And guess where where are those people going to be gathering? And that is on YouTube. There's hello, Big Gorilla has been there all this time, but if they own the search and they've got the destination and the storage capability for the lives, because as you know, Facebook, as large as it is, that the storage for lives has really been, they don't even leave it up for more than 30 days now.
No, exactly. Yeah, they're running out of space.
Mm-hmm.
They should get another CD. Come on, Zuckerberg, go buy another. Another few megabytes. Oh, you'll be fine.
Well, how about next week we do the 80s music, because there was a milestone this week, the Janet Jackson milestone of her music coming out with Virgin Records. Her album Janet came out.
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah, if you were in my school community, which you are, and I actually tagged you, there is a post in every. Oh, I love that expression. And so I haven't mentioned the word, and we've got under 2 minutes to go. The clock is ticking down now.
It could be a record. You're mentioning Virgin Records, and we know who that's owned by or was.
Not gonna do it. And so yeah, we'll get the report and let's talk about that. But I'm looking. I told my people, I said, we're going to start covering these public groups, because you're not going to believe what I have found that's happened since Meta made the announcement of the big layoff. Because there are groups, public groups on this platform with over 2 million members. There's more than that. There's one, I think, with I'll have to Google it. But I have to look at it again. But it's millions and millions are in groups, and you think about that, and whether, and then you step back and you say, okay, how do I create more activity here? And of course, you and I are both proponents of using AI, and there is so much there. But I'm going to tell you, there is a special surprise in that report, and next week, less than a minute to go. We'll discuss it. So be sure, everybody who's watching today, or which is the replay, to join us in our school communities, to make sure that we will be live on this platform, as well as on our YouTube channels.
Yep.
We're there. So that's where it makes the most difference. And we'll catch it there. And I'm right at 7:30, Nick. So, and I promise, and I wanted to let you know I keep my promise.
You always do, Barb. Barb, thank you so much. I love live streaming with you. I'm so sorry I got to rush off today. I've got a very busy day. But yes, join us next week, everyone, because it will be absolutely incredible. We're going to dive into this report, learn more about communities, and see where we should be live streaming and get the best bang for our buck, or something like that, Barb, I reckon.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Until next week. Take care, don't. Have a lovely time.